Hello. Well, this is day four, and here comes your story. No preamble. Let us begin. Last thing I remember was, well, that horrendous moment of the um, ship taking on water, and only job I could find after everything that went wrong. I never made it to the top, but weird. What am I doing here? This is odd. Some sort of something. I'm trying to figure this out. Anyway, I seem to be back where I started before everything went to custard. Um, and I do mean custard in a very bad way. Oh, will you look at this? A panel. Heh, I've heard about these. Revenge path. No, I'm not exactly happy about the way people treated me, but I'm not going down that path. A reconciling path. Well, I will forgive. Is this just a review with God? I don't know. But anyway, reconciling. Yes. No, I don't really want to ever see them again. I know what they would do. I don't know that my heart could take what they will do. Hmm. Oh, forgive and move on path. Ah, like that one. Kind of don't want to stay in the shark-filled waters, but don't mind forgiving the shark. Is that kind of what it is? Uh-huh. Well, click. Ha. You have chosen. Yes, I have. And with this decision, your life begins again. Okay, that's unusual. But here I am, 20, struggling, but ready to write that exam. Boy, all that work. Tools, electricity, electronics, bits, pieces, wiring a house. Yeah, all of it. And now the written exam. Oh boy. Now that's memories. Something really rough happens here. Now, I know this. Do I change this? Well, that's like I hope I was brought back is that I can change this one thing. I'm not going to get angry. I said I would forgive and move on, and I will. But I'm not going down that road again. That's an absolute. Get up, shower, breakfast, change. Oh, those fun things. Chase the cat around the room, make sure the cat is happy and contented. Yes, cat, check. All that information in my head, check. Well, it's as good in my head as it can be, and I'm thanking God that it's there. Now, what do I do about what happened? That's the question. Well, look at how I've dressed. I got so many pockets, so many places where things can go. Nope, 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 not this day. What about that really interesting, well, jumpsuit is what it is. But I like it. And I mean, it is who I am now. I am. I will be, hopefully, a professional contractor of electrician. Yes, this is good. And there's no pockets on this on purpose because they catch in things when you're crawling through things. So that's why this jumpsuit exists. So no pockets. Uh, yeah, that calculator thing. Where's my simple one? There it is. It can't do anything but Yeah, it does what I need it to do. Yeah, there's the certification from the last exam. I won't take the other one that somebody gave me as a gift. We won't talk about that. Off we go. Out the door, down the street, catch the bus, arrive at the college, get to the room where you're writing the exam. Ah, there she comes. Gives you a big hug. She's looking for something. There aren't any somethings for her to look for. She frowns and she goes, "Why are you wearing this?" Well, this is what I'll wear day to day. Thought I'd start now. Thank you for the hug. Uh, Blessings on the test. Off we go. You enter the room. As you're entering the room, the other person, yeah, that's what he'll be now. Been supposedly your best friend for years. We'll edit that. He comes over and he's also looking for pockets, apparently. He's the backup plan. He looks at the clear case with the pencil and the pen and the simple calculator. Where's the one I gave you? Oh, I decided not to bring that. I'll use that for work, though. Thank you very much for it, but here it has to be the honest answers. Weird look. Well, good luck. Yes. Wonder what they'll do. Well, I'm not sitting where I sat last time. That's a definite. Middle, halfway up. That looks good. Thunk. Oh, look at that. There's a camera above me. Good old camera. Don't look at it, but know that it's there. Look down and 6 pages to a new existence. 2 years of training. 1 year of practical. Now write the exam and become this. Simple. Yeah. Yes or no's. Get there or don't get there, but not following the old path. Not following it at all. No, it happened last time, but not this time. Seem to have been given a second chance. I'll take it. But I will not, did not speak in revenge, and I will not reconcile. Just going to forgive and move on. And that's what I've done. And the test goes, yeah, well, like a test, of course. It wasn't that I knew all the answers, that I knew enough of them to get to the place where I would, yeah, I think I'll pass using that old calculator and worked quite fine for what I required for this test. The test complete. And the teacher says, bring the test to the front, and this time you don't leave the case sitting on the desk, you pick it up. Come with me. You go to the front, you put down the test, and the teacher sees the calculator and says, "Can I see that?" "Yes." And teacher looks at the calculator, goes through it. This is just a basic calculator, correct? I was required to confirm my numbers. That was allowed. Certify. And sitting there thinking of everything that may happen in the next 24 hours, can you certify that you saw that calculator, please? I just got one of those feelings. Can't say I remember my past life, but yeah, I got one of those feelings. Yeah, ain't a good one. And he goes, well, it's odd, but I can. And he said, he looks at it and he said, yes, it is just a basic calculator that does basic calculating. Yes. And he signs it. She walks out, walks right into the disciplinarian feller. Same time as life, cold shiver goes through. Ooh, yeah, well, I guess it had to come. There was an anonymous tip that you're cheating. Oh, how was I cheating? Using a calculator that held formulas. Uh, just got my calculator certified by the teacher. I see that paper? Yeah, there it is. I see the calculator. Yes. Empty your pockets. I don't have any. No pockets? No. Where's your backpack? I didn't bring one. Only required the brain pan, pencil, a pen, an eraser, and a simple calculator. I see. Well, we'll review the footage and see what you were doing while you were testing. I understand. I was sitting right under a camera. Oh, I see. And something slipped through me. I'm going to have one more person to forgive, aren't I? This fellow's in on it. I can tell. Things aren't working the way that he expected. He expected to find cheat notes on me. There aren't no pockets. That's not happening. I don't have that calculator. It's actually at home. And I have a teacher that certified the one that I used. And the guy goes, can you please come with me? And you go, she goes, of course, I'll be right with you. I've got to go to the washroom. And he goes, that won't be allowed. She goes, well, I do need to go, but you can hold this. He smiles and he notices that the calculator and the paper isn't there. She said, I want to check something. I think I might have got one wrong, and I just want to confirm that in my brain because it would be useful to make sure I don't do that again. She walks off to the washroom. She's in for a few minutes. She comes back out. She takes the case from him, puts the calculator and the paper back in, and goes with them. This begins her day. She's held for 6 hours while he's on the phone and talking to people, and finally, she's ushered into the college administrator and her teacher and a few others. And sitting on the other side are two people that she's already forgiven. Now she's forgiven a third. May she have to forgive a fourth? She thinks she might. Then begins the story, but she's already ready for that story. But there had been this conversation between themselves and her, and that she had talked about ways that she could cheat, and they had revised the story to her basically having something written on her arm. But it was interesting because it was supposed to be on her right arm. And when she got the calculator in the picture on the page, she had had her right arm sitting there, but she also had to sign it, so it was right there and it was clear. She said, "Want to look at that picture?" Apparently, if I wrote something on my arm, and the guy immediately said, "She went to the washroom right afterwards. She probably washed it off." And she goes, "Well, could be true, except the picture will show you that when I was signing, there was nothing on my arm. Plus, short sleeves. It looked kind of odd to have something on your." The guy wiggled a bit. Yep, definitely forgiving him. One of the college administrators wiggles a bit. Forgiving her too, and forgiving this whole situation, letting it go. Of course, at the end of it, finds out that she finds out that after many hours, they don't have any proof, but they're still going to charge her with cheating. That's a twist. Thought this would end here. She goes, "Oh well." She goes, "I understand that. Now," she said, "I'm leaving and getting legal counsel." "Well, we want those things." "No, you're not having them. You'll get a copy of them from my lawyer." Now, that morning she was talking to a friend of hers who was a pretty good person around this type of stuff. Not a lawyer, but somebody knows her way around this world. And she phoned her and said, "I've been charged with cheating." "Really? How'd that happen?" "Did you bring the wrong calculator?" "No, I just brought a simple calculator. It's already said." They said I had writing on my hands and I went to the washroom afterwards and they say I washed it off, but the picture shows that I didn't. Plus, I was wearing short sleeves. Plus, I had no pockets. I think there's a few people involved. I don't wish a witch hunt, but I do wish to get my degree if possible. She said, "I know somebody that can help you." So, a couple hours later, she's sitting in an office that smells of honey tea and jasmine. And a lady sitting there in a very Japanese blouse is looking at her going, "How can they charge you? You sat before a camera." "Yes." She said, "Just give me a minute." She made a phone call to the college. She said, "I want all of the data from this camera where this lady sat, certified and set aside, please." "Yes, I'm her lawyer." "And you know who I'm talking about. You charged her with cheating." "Well, she was." "Oh, we're going to see if you can prove that." "Well, there's been yeah, I know, a malfunction in the camera, and if that's what happened, then you're going to have to prove that." There was a silence on the other end, and she said, "That's fine. If I do not get the recording from that camera, I will file certain paperwork." And she hung up. She said, "That's sorted." "Are you sure?" "Yes." And then she remembered something. She goes, I think, and I'm not sure, but since that camera was over me, I may have the right to let me check my cloud for the college." And she did. To her amazement, she was able to access that footage, something she'd remembered from her past life. And they had talked about that. And so, she accessed it, pushed the phone over, and let this nice lady look at it. And she goes, "Oh, well, I don't see any cheating there. I don't see any pauses, anything. You're just doing normally. It's all on video. Capture it." As they're trying to capture it, it's already being trying to be erased. Um, but she already downloaded it into a file server for further concerns. It's a bit of a blur. Her mom is very upset. Her dad is wondering how she could have cheated. And she goes, I haven't, Dad. Here's the video showing me writing the test. I had no pockets. I had short sleeves. I had nothing written on my sleeve. Here's the picture. She said, this is something going on, and I just wish to walk away from it. So after about a year and a lot of very heavy lawyers and this Japanese lady getting very to the point of complete frustration, she goes, they're going to keep appealing and we're going to keep moving forward and this isn't going to sort. She goes, I'm sorry. She said, oh no, you're running out of money and I don't mind doing it pro bono. I could keep up forever, but that's what's going to happen. They keep coming up with things that it could possibly be or some way that I could have done something. Is that what you're talking about? Yes. Doesn't feel fair. No, it isn't. But here's something that she slid across. She goes, they can't say you cheated. Really, what they wish you to do is withdraw before you complete. Because those two people that are, for some reason, don't want you to graduate. She said, but I have a solution for you. It's a radical one. At this point, not even her mom and dad were really believing her anymore. It was weird how it all shifted. She knew there was something spiritual going on. She was asking God to sort that and having prayer for it from certain people that she trusted. And the Japanese lady said, I can help you out. She said, I can give you a recommendation and you can move to Japan. You'd have to learn the language. That would be the only thing. She smiled and she goes, I already know that language. Why? Ah, I love anime. And some anime are in Japanese, so guess what? I learned Japanese just because I liked anime. Ah, then you'll fit right in, she said. That was the only thing I was worried about is how quickly you could learn the language. Oh, I already know that language. Well, you'll have to go in one of their schools and you'll have to do a short course, which is basically that you are uncertified, did not complete your course, did not graduate, but did all of your years. I have a friend at the institute in Japan that can take you in, run you 6 months, and you'll have your, that's what you really wish to do. You know what? It is what I really wish to do. And maybe my parents will come around. But there are some things happening that I didn't find out about in that first life. I wasn't theirs. They had adopted me. They never told me. They decided to tell me and basically told me that there's the curb. They don't have cheaters in their house. Funny, the house got paid off. It's weird how those things happen. Seems very unjust, but another couple of weeks and the paperwork is signed that she will not graduate. They cannot say that she cheated because they cannot prove it. So it becomes an incomplete course. They smile, they think they've won. So what are you going to do now that you can't do? None of your business. Going to move on with life. I forgive you all for all the things you've done, and I'll let God deal with you. Are you threatening us? No, not at all. I'm just going to move on. It's what I chose, what I decided. She goes, oops, nearly said too much. She leaves there, the nice lawyer, whom she's starting to realize is more like a mom than any mom she's ever had, said, drive you to the airport. And she did. Got all ready to go to Japan. And the two that had been conspiring against her ended up showing up at the airport. They said they were there for a flight, but didn't seem to have tickets. She didn't care. She very simply, her and her wonderful lawyer, now kind of mom, she was going back for a visit, and they both passed security, leaving them screaming, cheater, cheater, cheater. Whatever, she said. I have the proof that I didn't cheat. And the woman beside her smiles and said, you're going to like Japan. We'll leave it there. That's a seed story, I know, but it is a one-off, and that's it. That's what you get. Maybe I can put more to it later. Maybe God will weave some in. Let's just very simply say a blessing for you, a blessing of truth and the reality of that truth, and that God would fight for you, be on your side. And whatever else that wishes to paint with that brush, it could be a lot. According to His will and according to yours, this can be. We come before you, Father, and this story is interesting, isn't it? We don't usually get second chances, although sometimes we'd like them. Do they really change anything? Well, as we see in that story, nothing really changed. But she was still integral. And God looked after her, gave her somebody that wished to be with her, and she begins a new life. What that looks like, well, that's kind of up to you, isn't it? That's what we're going to talk about now. If you wish to get to know that person called Jesus, then you can do that very simply by asking to be forgiven. You can't do this on your own, you know that. You know that you've sinned. So asking to be forgiveness from sin isn't a great big deal, is it? Really think about it. Somebody sponging everything you've ever done that's from that nature that isn't good. That would be cool. That's what happens. You ask to be forgiven, you accept the plan and the purposes of Christ, which means that you're going to walk differently, talk differently, move differently. Things, well, they change. As you notice in the story, not all things change perfectly, but it's better with him. You're just basically accepting the cross, accepting the empty grave, that he paid everything for you, and he's now your high priest. That's pretty cool. You'll learn all the rest later as you move through his wonderful book called the Bible, and you hear from people that you connect to when you get to that place called the Living Stone Church. Not the church itself, but the living stones within. That God will lead you to in due course. Final thing you can do is accept the Holy Spirit within your heart space and allow that Holy Spirit to guide you, kind of take the steering wheel. and strengthen you and comfort you through your life. You'll be better with. And you tell somebody. You'll know the right person. And if you're further along, well, then just ask the Word to open to you. Ask God to get closer to you. He loves to do that. Learn more about Him. It'll draw you in. It really will. We ask that the darkness be pushed back, Father, so that they have a time to really cement this in, and that you would make them all that you wish them to be. And we ask for grace and mercy and courage and strength as we go, and we say thankful, grateful, gratitude, thankful, grateful, gratitude, thankful, grateful, gratitude, standing in awe and honor, respect, giving all glory to Father, Spirit, Son. This is Amen. Well, you be blessed, and story, think 5 next. Blessings.